Good morning. Now, while I'm making my breakfast, I want to discuss a very sensitive subject that hopefully has moved past the sensitivity phase to where I can tell you my experience. And that is regarding the CZU Fire Complex. It was known as the CZU Electrical Fire. In 2020, roughly 5 months after the lockdown in August 2020, there was a huge fire in this part of the world. It was called the CZU Electrical Fire Complex. Now, why was it called that? Well, they claim the official story is that this fire was started by electricity. Okay? So what happened was with me was this was the very first of my acceptance, the very first part of my acceptance of the truth about the evil dark ones trying to hijack everything. And I was beginning to see that that was a huge issue. And so I was actually, the mentally ill side of me was getting active. I was feeling paranoid. I had forgotten my headlamp, and so I was kind of groping in the dark, coming back to my camp. And then at a certain point, I realized I was really thankful I'd forgotten it because I heard this sound the last week of August 2020, and it was one of the craziest sounds I have ever heard in my life. It was a very, very loud rumbling, and it sounded like it was coming from the sky. The biggest, loudest, gnarly, ancient machine rumbling sound in the sky. And I thought to myself, am I going crazy, or are the dark ones actually coming to get me? I knew it was not local technology. The sound was just insane. Then about several hours later, 4 or 5 in the morning, there was a massive display of electricity that created the fire. And I actually remember seeing it, or startling me so much that it woke me up, as several of my friends. And then the fires began. So I feel that I have experiential evidence to say that there is 0% chance that those fires were organic. And what happened during the course of the burning was there was a town known as Last Chance that was completely razed to the ground. Okay? It was known as a hippie enclave where intentional people lived in a way that was more in alignment, in nature. Way out in nature. Many Bonnie Doon homes, very, very many homes were destroyed. But, through political motivations, firemen could selectively save some houses, I guess, Of course, there were hundreds or dozens of people risked their life to save their own community. And that's a whole nother subject. But I just wanted to tell the world that, I heard this insane sound, and then, which sounded like a huge machine rumbling in the sky. And, which was only several miles from here that it started. So I just want to tell the world about this experience. And, there's those that say that they saw saucers dropping chemicals in the edge of the bubonic plague. There's psychics who say that the dark ones created the floods, and Jehovah warned Noah. What do you think? Do you think natural disasters are 100% organic? Do you think that this geoengineered so-called atmospheric river is natural? Do you think it was natural to have this much rain at once? Or could it be that weather modification or weather control, weather manipulation is an ancient tactic? Or is it a modern tactic of our controllers to keep us in line, to keep the population down, to keep the radical, open-minded, good-natured ones from getting together? What do you think?